Hello and welcome back to How to Learn a Language. Today is our final episode in our mini series about Grace and Space, where I've been sharing who Grace and Space is for, because there is a specific type of learner that I have in mind when I plan this event. And this year, Grace and Space is the biggest event, the biggest Grace and Space event that I've ever done. We've got multiple live sessions a day. There's 4 taught trainings, Q&A, co-study, hot seat coaching, and more. You can find out more and get your tickets now at lindsaydoeslanguages.com/Grace and Space. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it at the end as well. And today, for our final episode in this series, we are going to be talking about anyone feeling overwhelmed by all the rules and resources out there. If that is you, Grace and Space is for you. And I want to share 3 things that I want you to know right now, if that is you. First of all, language advice can be quite overwhelming and quite contradictory. So we are always looking, understandably so, for the best way to learn a language, right? We want to know, can we do this thing better? I get it. Right? I understand where this comes from. It's the same for like everything in life, right? The simplest things now, like you think, okay, I'm going to make banana bread. What is the best banana bread recipe? You might spend ages trying to find that recipe and then be like, okay, I need to go out and buy pure vanilla extract and blah, blah, blah. Like we want the best. And I get that. I do. I'm the same. But if we get too much into that, it can be so overwhelming and so contradictory, right? When we're trying to then follow every single tip, resource, or rule that we see online, we're not going to be making any progress because eventually we'll realize that it all kind of loops and contradicts each other. So I give you permission to give yourself permission to ignore the noise, to pick what works for you, to experiment like, language learners are just the biggest, best experimenters that I know. And to focus on actually what moves you forward rather than chasing every new tip. And this is why at Grace and Space we have just 4 sessions, 4 taught sessions, right? Because, yeah, sure, I could plan an event where I'm giving you like 10, 20, 50 classes, taught sessions, webinars, workshops, whatever you want to call it, right? But that isn't necessarily better than an event with 4 taught sessions, because the one with 4, the Grace and Space, I'm giving you like quality over quantity. So aside from that, even with 4, you might think, 4 still feels like a lot. Take what you need, leave what you don't. Again, I give you permission to do that. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed and not get your Grace and Space ticket. I want you to get your Grace and Space ticket and then take what you need and leave what you don't. And part of that might feel quite sort of brave and scary, like, but if I get my ticket, it means I have to show up to every session, doesn't it? Like, no. Because the second thing I want you to know, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the rules and all the resources out there, is that making your own rules builds confidence. If you trust your own decisions over someone else's decision of how language learning should look on the internet, you are going to be doing so much better for yourself. You'll know what you're doing without stressing out, without panicking, without kind of caving to every new hack that you see online, right? Like, it's such an imperative skill to learn. I call it trusting your language gut, right? You can call it whatever you like. That's what I call it. And it also links into something else I teach, which is the idea of becoming your own teacher. So that doesn't mean that you have to go out and get a degree in pedagogy or you never, ever have a lesson again with a teacher. No, absolutely not. But what it does mean is that you become the one that is in control, that is making the decisions, that's deciding what you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it. And like I say, that then links to the idea of trusting your language gut, trusting those decisions that you make for yourself, rather than questioning them every step of the way. It's so crucial to then build confidence with how you do it, and therefore your progress of actually being able to speak the language and feel fluent in it, right? Feeling confident in your process with your languages really leads to feeling confident with your progress. It's so good. And then finally, I just really want you to know that if this is you, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the rules and all the resources, support accelerates building your personal language system. So deciding for yourself, okay, you know what? I'm going to be the rebel. I'm going to turn a blind eye. I'm going to just ignore the overwhelming and contradictory language advice out there. I'm going to make my own rules. I'm going to decide. I'm going to trust my language gut. I'm going to become my own teacher and decide what I want to do and how I want to do it. That can be big and scary and new because it's not how we're taught to learn languages, right? But when you have support for this, when we're working together on this, it's so much quicker and so much easier because you're not, going down all the common pitfalls that people often have when they decide to do this for themselves. And this is also part of the reason, obviously we do this fully, a whole year together in Language Life. You'll be a pro. You will be so good at this. But obviously we can't do all of that condensed into 4 days. But what we do have, to give you a little taste of what it's like, we have a few elements in Grace and Space. We've got the Q&A. We've got the community space. We've got these little nuggets where you can pop in and ask questions and connect with others. But above all, we have the hot seat coaching, which is going to be happening every single day as a chance for you to get your ticket for Grace and Space, submit a request for hot seat coaching, and you'll get booked in for a slot for some personal coaching with me on exactly where you're at right now, exactly what you want to fix or what you want to do better. There's no judgment, there's no shame, there's no right or wrong way to come to this and to approach this. Acceptance is there. And with this hot seat coaching, you're then going to get that personal feedback. You're going to be feeling much more confident to then move forward and to build this new system for yourself, this new way of learning, which is you trusting your language gut, that is you becoming your own teacher and really stepping in fearlessly to that new level of confidence with your language learning, with what you're doing to make it happen. This year's Grace and Space is happening from the 25th to the 28th of September. It is going to be the best yet. Every day you get access to a new taught workshop, multiple live sessions, including co-study, Q&A, community, hot seat coaching. Plus, you'll get the chance to join Language Life with a very special bonus package as well. Tickets are just $50 US. You can get them right now. lindsaydoeslanguages.com/grace and space. And just a quick note, if you are listening to this in the future and the event has passed, no problem. You can sign up to my email list for updates on future events and get your free ultimate language resource list in the meantime at lindsaydoeslanguages.com/list to get the list. That is the end of this little mini series this week. I hope you've enjoyed this and I hope it's helped you decide if Grace and Space is for you. And if it is, I would love to see you there. If you do have any questions, email me, lindsay@doeslanguages.com. Share this episode with a friend as well who you think will love it and who you think will benefit from coming along and joining us at Grace and Space. And I'll see you there. And I'll be back very soon right here on the podcast. Bye.